Hello everyone, and welcome to, this is going to be the first time I try something like this. I think it might be fun to, sometimes if I'm doing drawings or animations, stuff that might be a bit focused on this channel or other sites, it might be fun to stream some of it and discuss how, what the deal with the progress and the project are, or is, forgive my grammar. So for about an hour or so, I'll be working on two little animations here, and I'm just making sure the tweet is correct. I'm actually sending out the tweet to this right now. Check out my live animation / drawing stream at Behonkus. Surprise, surprise. So I'm going to be working on two things today. And let me make sure this is it starting? Yeah, it's working. Let me just make sure highlight windows. Try to make sure it isn't delayed or anything. Probably is. I just want to see by how much. Okay, yeah, we're good. It says offline. How do I get it online? Live stream, start your encoder. One second, guys. Okay, yeah, we are live. The live dashboard is being rather behind the times. So the first thing I'll be doing here for about half hour or so is my shot for, if you're familiar with YouTube Reanimate collabs, I think they're also on places like Newgrounds and like. They're not exclusive to any one video site. It's a very fun idea where the core concept is someone takes the audio from a cartoon episode of some sort, or yeah, usually cartoons, I guess, and every time, the basic concept is every time there's a different, like a camera cut, somebody completely different animates to that audio. You know, it could be based on the original visuals, it can be doing their own crazy thing. And so the one I'm participating in right now, there is another one actually that I'll get back to work on after this. I feel like it might be a more complex shot. We'll see. We'll see. It's hard to say right now, but I am in one for Hotel Mario Reanimate collab, so it doesn't just extend to TV, but it's about the idea to do like gaming cutscenes as well. And so we're taking one of the most infamous ones. I'll bet there's a Zelda CDI one around the corner. But what I'm doing, like I couldn't pass this up, an episode of the Donkey Kong Country cartoon. You can find it on YouTube. It's called Kong for a Day. Not a very good episode. Not a very good show, let's be fair. But you know, for some it's genuinely good. For some, it's a guilty pleasure. I'm somewhere in that latter camp. Though, if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of the game it's based on. And because that show is like a 20-year-old CG show, it's obviously visuals are very dated. But it makes sense that we're gonna have a lot of different animators take a different, more contemporary approach to it. You can look, if you Google them on Twitter, the site DK Reanimated. I think they still have some slots open if you feel like you qualify for entering it. And they have a Discord as well where you can see in progress stuff. Some of it looks really cool. I'm seeing some of it, people are going to do 3D. Guy did a puppet. He made a King K. Rool puppet doing a speed, which is awesome. So I got assigned one. You can make the request, and I was like, here are a couple characters I'd like to do, and they gave me one from the characters I requested, which was Dixie. Mainly because she was just honestly my favorite to play as in the Super NES days. The show didn't really do a damn thing with her, but you know, most of the characters looked awful. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of integrate some of her like design from like the Super NES games, or Tropical Freeze, and so this is mainly going to be working on her. I'm right now doing the roughs for her design. So actually, I'll just play right now. The idea is that in this episode, she and Donkey Kong are chilling out, and he's just gotten dumped, and he's feeling really bummed, and so she says this.
You hook up with somebody, DK?
And thankfully, I don't have to animate the insanely creepy part where the Kremlings frame it, like one does an impression of him, Donkey Kong, to make it look like he's hitting on Dixie. Like, oh, pedophile joke, great. But so this is actually, and one of the things that's going to be adding later is the full background. She's supposed to be lying on a log. There's, let me see if I have it here. Yeah, the roughs for some of the trees. I'm going to tweak that. The last thing is, maybe I'll work on a little bit tonight, is the Kremlin who's, you know, supposed to be coming out from the foliage to do the impression Crush. I did some sketches of him and Dixie before settling on these things here. So you have him here, like some good base, but I thought it'd be a little more stylized because he's supposed to be the big dumb brute. So you can kind of see some roughs there that I'll probably work with and a more refined head. So we might get started on designing him tonight in Toon Boom. This is the vector animation software I use. Interesting thing to note here is, so you can see here you can see Dixie moving here, and it's not a finished animation by any means. It's not color, but it's also just not the final one. Period. This is the roughs for what is it called keyframes. So you can see here, like for every you can do a thing called scrubbing. So they sent me a video file of the shot that they wanted me to do, and I exported the sound from it via Premiere and put it in here to use as a basis. And she barely moves in the show, so I'm just kind of going. Toon Boom has a scrub tool, so you can go like sound frame by frame to hear the sound. So I would play it a bit and then like figure out, okay, for which frame should she be, what motions and emotions suit what is being said. So the idea is like at first sympathy when she's saying aw, then like more lackadaisy when she's trying to be like, it's gonna work out, and more gesturing with like her arm. It's not done to end with her just putting her arm back leisurely and turning to stare at the camera / Donkey Kong because she's saying his name. And so we're going to work on some of the keyframes today. And for the roughs, I'm kind of doing a mixture of completely hand drawing and repeated symbols. You can see here that her head is the same base from frame to frame. And if you don't use Toon Boom or Flash, the idea is you can do different layers for them, so for any element you want. So I have one here for her body, the torso and limbs, and then I have one just for the head, which is both the the general face, the whole head, and the hat braid thing she wears, and I guess her main trademark is she has this crazy long ponytail because she was the Nintendo equivalent to Tail. She can hover with it, and so one thing to keep in mind there, and it's hard to see here because I just have little lines representing it, but she has she does have like some one thin lock coming down the side of each head, the blonde one. So I'm trying to set up some basic I think you call it follow through and overlapping animation, where the idea is much like motion in real life. If you have something kind of dangling from you and you move and stop, it'll be a little behind to catch up with you. So like you can see here, I'm trying to find the line, those lines. So she finishes moving her head, and that's a pretty good one. And it's gonna have more to it than that, like probably additional frames. So you see when she stops moving, it moves back to kind of settle into its natural position with gravity. And so what I'm doing here is making different substitutions. You can say like I'm gonna duplicate a frame and make a new substitution that I can freely switch between. So here's where I would edit. Like the main things I'm editing are the rotation position of the ponytail, because I can individually select those lines using that, and the pivot points that if it went there, and rotate it and so on. And you can also, the main things are her eyes, because you can see that, or the irises. You can see the irises move here, and it's going to be more fluid the final motion. But this is to provide a basis, really. And same thing goes for her mouth, because she's a monkey, she has kind of a muzzle snout thing going on, so it's not a completely human thing. And you kind of listen to what letter noise is being made here. Like she's saying yee, she's saying yee. No, it's the beginning of Yule, which is a yee, before you move to the O. So you give her like a closed teeth sound that you do for like a Y or a T or an S, and an O for the ooh and Yule and stuff like that. And now that I've just set up, I'm probably going to get back to, I need to remember where I am here. I think they're mainly, they're both, I think I'll focus right now on the head positions, and then I'll also switch between the mouths and the eye shapes. So let's do the scrub, so it'll hear, so we know. Yeah, okay, so it's going to stay static there, and she's going to move. I am going to edit the gesture, move the arm forward a little bit just to accentuate that. And I think this will be the point where she starts moving the head into, I'm looking, what's the original position? Oh no, her whole body rotates on certain, you see, kind of keeping it so, you wouldn't just move the head back and have the body still lean forward like that, because then it would be floating midair. So she's not going to stay in the same position the whole thing, and she's not going to have the same position at the end that she did at the beginning. She's more leaning back. It's going to be more like a casual, hey, we're just chatting, let's cut it down, let's do that, don't worry, it'll work out, that kind of thing. And So I'll leave the arm now. We're just focusing on the head. And I'm going to say this says that line shows it's set to start the motion there, but actually because of the rough, we just want pretty simple. I'm just going to keep saving here. I'm doing this on a Microsoft Surface tablet that is old and refurbished, so it doesn't have the best battery life or reliability to not freeze up and shut down. So if this suddenly goes offline with no previous indicator, give me a minute and I will try and get back online. Let's see. Actually, yeah, I think I'll do. Yeah, so I will duplicate keyframe here. And we'll say at this point we want the irises to move back a little bit. He's going to be staring, towards the camera / DK's point of view. But it's not done yet. But we are going to, just a little bit. She looks a little derpy-eyed. All right. And because she's kind of like the end of the line settling back into a more neutral, relaxed position, we'll be lowering the eyebrows a little bit. And in the final frame, they'll probably even be a little more less arched. And I gotta make sure I select all of that. Nope, not rotate. Right there. And now we'll rotate the entire layer, and after that we will adjust the bangs and ponytail. And I think let me just see how it would look if she slumps back a little bit. Yeah, actually, we are gonna keep it. We're gonna rotate back more, so we got there. Okay, that's pretty good. So I'm gonna have her finish the motion right before she finishes saying his name. So let me just. I think I'll actually move the start of it a little up, and so she's finishing the motion right as she finishes talking. All right, what's right there? Drawing. Back a little more. We'll adjust the body after this, but first we're gonna put the eyes fully back, or the iris. No. Oh, yeah, it's like this to select specific parts of the drawing. So move right. Yeah. So this is now. Okay, she's not reverse cross-eyed. That's pretty good. And let me see. Yeah, the ponytail's not going to be that close up. It needs to be moved back a little bit. Gravity in the direction of the lean and all that. And obviously you can see like these intersecting, overlapping lines. The final version won't have that. It'll probably draw the whole thing on one layer. This is just for basis. And no, you do not want a motion tween here, not the automated thing. Well, it'll make more sense to the final version. And actually, let me see how this looks timing-wise in terms of how long it takes to. I need the sound. I just need to have an idea if it's too long. Okay, that is too long. Let me just. Yeah, okay, it doesn't have to be towards the end of the sound. So we'll just have her. We can have the mouth and eyebrows keep moving, so the head layer is completely static, I guess. But let me see. Is this? She's leaning back. Yeah, I guess the hair should be a little bit rotating outwards because she's leaning. It's leaning back, so it would kind of lean that way too. So let me just test this one more time. Both back a little bit. So right, yeah, right. All right, I think that's about right. And I can fix it later if it is problematic, but I doubt it will be. Save. Gotta back that stuff up. And let me just check the. I guess her eyes are a little nut. That the back one probably be down a little more. Let me see if that's. Yeah, I'll do that. I will fix that now before I forget. Yeah, I guess in the final version it'll be overlapped slightly by the snout, but that's fine. Just have to copy this so that way the next drawing substitution just paste it exactly where it's supposed to be. So that's good. And so leaning back. I feel like her whole head should be leaning back a bit too. So complete the motion. It would be weird for just in one snap. So okay, so we'll do that. We will do the bangs a little bit for this, and I'll do one more substitution. We won't move the whole head, but we'll finish the rotation for overlapping action. And where's the? Just compare the ponytail positions in comparison. There's that. Yeah, I can stick out a little more. Actually, I'll duplicate this one. So the ponytail will stay where it is. And I will move the bangs. Actually, let me see. Oh, they're not. Okay, they're not. They do more exaggerated in the. Because I moved her head way back. So do that. Do that. And then they can move back there. Okay, good. I'll just see the back hair. Compared to the first. Okay, no, she's leaning forward there, so. Okay, maybe I can just move this. Yeah, we can do some doing it earlier than I expected. Move that back, and we'll see how that looks. And ignore it, don't worry about that line. Oh, that's too much. That looks like the hair went crazy. Let's see. Actually, probably just move it back horizontally a little bit like that. No, it's not right either. Let's see. Move it down a bit. Or just, I guess just rotate it less. Compare that to. Okay, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Move back up a little bit first, and maybe rotate it a little more. Okay, that's a start. That's something that can be tweaked later on. And now would probably be a good job to also adjust the mouth shapes. And for this, I can probably copy paste some for the roughs at least. So we'll do the scrubs and match up. Okay, so now, yeah, now she opens it her mouth more for the. Let me see if there's a. I'll see if I already fixed that. She must be smiling. Okay, yeah, that's probably correct. So we go in here and copy, cherry pick the best parts of the specific parts we need. Do I need it? Okay. So we can duplicate drawing. Specifically, just delete that mouth shape, paste that one, and align it properly. I'm also doing a thing. Little tip for anybody who does vector animations, you know, does the mouth substitution technique to make it look a little more alive. This is something I'm give or take on depending on the project. You can see here how if I have the mouth closed, where is it? If I have the mouth closed or with a smaller mouth shape, then the vertical height of the mouth is smaller than when it, like, see there. So let me just see where it. So it's probably, yeah. In this case, I probably don't need to adjust that much, but I know I'm going to compare it to that last. Okay, that was a bigger mouth shape. Frowning. Okay, that seems about right. Let me just make sure. Oh, it's supposed to match up with the. Make sure it's the right frame. So put that there, and then I'll just draw a little. I mean, it might be too thick. The incline. Okay, no, that's pretty fine. So put it there. Obviously, it looks chaotic because of all the leftover elements there, but keep in mind, none of what you're seeing right now will be directly in the finished shot. This is just all the rough stuff that goes into giving you, like I said, the basis with somebody, DK? And it does look like her head came off. She got slightly a bit decapitated towards the end, or her neck is broken or something. So, oh no, we do not want the stop motion for the roughs. And actually, I should probably set up the body a little bit now to match. I should just make sure. Okay, yeah, the head's not going to change its position for these elastic steps. So now I'm going to adjust the body, lock the head layer so we don't actually edit any of that. And one thing I can do for, oh, actually no, I remember what I have to do first is edit so she's kind of, you know, sticking that arm out more to potentiate what she's saying. So I'm going to go with the scrub here, and alright, so this is going to be the point where she starts to move that arm. So we'll do a insert key for the drawing, stop motion, and we'll specifically select that, and you can see where I do little circles there to note like where the socket / shoulder would be, so we have kind of a basis there. So we'll rotate this a little bit, and just the forearm and hand will be out a little bit, so it's a little more. See, I can see it starting there, and since that's the start, it's not a huge amount. And let me get to probably the end of sum is where it'll be at its full amount. Alright. Actually, let me check. Did she start moving her head at this point? Okay, no, it moves back at the... Yeah, there. Okay, so stop motion. It's a different... Yeah, it's a different substitution. You can tell by the number there. Save. Do a little more there. Move it up a little bit just to fit the socket better, and then we'll move this whole arm out. And you don't want it to be completely flat like that. That looks a little less dynamic, or it looks like she's pointing down. Then I'm gonna redraw the hand too for the rough. So now it's kind of there. Just compares the previous frame. Okay, that's pretty good. And I'll actually for this shot I'll redraw. I'll give her a different hand to give it kind of a more lackadaisical, like whatever. And here's a nice feature. I'll do the onion skin, which shows you choose how many frames can show you, like kind of flipbook style, as a basis to where your object last was and how it is shaped as well. So I'm actually like looking at my hand right now to kind of use it as a basis, and I might have to redraw this because full disclosure, I suck at hands, even if it's like a cartoon monkey. So start with like throwing I don't want it directly the same position, so. That's not correct. I'm trying to think like what's the best direction for each finger. Okay, now it's too thick. Oh, it should kind of be cupped probably. Yep. Yeah, it's almost like something like out of a shrug. Let's get rid of the onion skin and see if that looks pretty good. Yeah, it does look pretty good. Let me just make sure it doesn't okay, it's a little too big, so thankfully I can select just those parts and squish them a little bit horizontally. Alright, that's about right, and we'll make it look more, anatomically right in the final version. Because again, this is just a basis. And this is where she starts to turn a little bit, so stop motion. And what I'm going to do here is one thing I'm doing for the roughs is so I can rotate the bodies back slightly. Oh no, I don't want it to be rotated from the neck. I want it rotated from the butt where she's sitting, because you're kind of, imagine yourself sitting, and if you start leaning back, you're not following the trajectory of your head. You're following the trajectory of your seat, because that's gravity and physics for you. So I'll do that to match it up with the previous frame. Yeah, that seems about right. But I also want to make sure her arm that she's, and there's a very rough, unfinished hand. That's going to be something else to work on later. I have to make sure that's in the same place as the last couple of frames. And it's okay. It's such a small thing. I can probably keep that. I'll move it up a little bit. If I keep neglecting small things, they add up. They'll add up. That's speaking from experience with vector animation. Oh, we need the big line. We need this line selected too. And where's the rough? Okay, so we move it there to make sure you're in the right position and compare it to the last frame. Oh, now you're way too long. It looks like it shrunk a little bit. Oh, no, but it's still kind of, you get the gist that's keeping its general position while the rest of it is kind of rotating. We will address that. But also probably want to work on the legs a little bit. So, because the idea is she's just chilling on a log, so it's not the whole thing that moves. So I'll just keep this a little rotated down and a little rotated down. and then we'll adjust them again for the next keyframe, as we call it. Let me see where I'll turn this off for now. It's not necessarily for lip sync or drawing. Okay, so yeah, she moves back. Okay, so this is the point where the head has moved way back. And stop there. Set stop motion keyframe. I might. Oh, actually, no. I'm moving that far back. I'm going to need to edit that arm, so I'll make a new drawing substitution. Let's keep him duplicate drawing, and I will. We can select everything but that one arm probably, and we'll get to the arm, and so we'll move it back a little bit. First, let me just get apply the onion skin to the head as well. Okay, so showing where it last was compared with her head. So kind of like the back shoulder, the front shoulder goes right underneath the back of her head, kind of like that. And for the onion skin, which will just apply it to the body again, and again do from the seat and kind of angle back. Actually, maybe I went about the wrong way. Like rotating it. I should be rotating her body back further instead of moving it. So let's do that a little more. Oh no, that is okay. I think that's about right. Let's turn off onion skin. Yeah, okay, it is. So we are gonna have to edit this arm. I might as well delete these lines and draw some new ones to indicate that the line. It's just that she'll, in real life you'd have to bend the arm more as you're leaning back like that. So might have to do a little trial and error with this to find a position that looks right and makes sense. Timing and orientation wise compared to what it was before. That might be good actually. Okay. Oh, I guess I made her I guess in general I made her the top part of the arm too short compared to the other, so that's something that I should edit right now. Yeah, look at that. It's way off. Let's fix that now. First save. And I can select individual points here. So again, this is a rough. So don't expect much. And that's done. And that seems a lot closer now. So we're going to copy paste these lines and replace the old. Yeah, there we go. It's like, no, that's not quite correct. No, not deleting the body. That paste. Is that the same as? Yeah. Delete. Paste. Matches up. Delete, paste, and this actually might be where I need to rotate it a little bit. And let's see. Okay, that's a thing that rotate that a little bit too. I think I might do it from the base of the hand here. Actually, no, do it from the. Makes more sense to do it from the actual base of the arm. So oh, that is not right. Okay, yeah, that's good for now. And this is where we drew it anyway. Let me make sure. I need to move it up more to match the joint position. Get rid of the rough lines first. Was that an arm line deleted? Yes, it was. Let's see, I might have to delete some of these here too. Okay. Turn on onion skin. Alright, we kind of see where it is now. Delete that line. Oh no, I'm not adjusting the. I messed with the shirt rim. And let's just see the joint part again, the elbow. Okay, and the arm's too skinny here too. Let's buff it up a little bit. And maybe move this one back. Oh, this one needs to be moved way up too. Okay, nope, can't select the hand. Okay, that's enough. That's enough for the basis, I think. And I'll go back and probably edit the fingers later too. I need to look for some reference on how the individual fingers would move if she was leaning back like that. And let me just reset view. Oh, okay, I'll need that zoomed out. Save. And the one after that, I think there's... Okay, no, this is the where it finishes moving out. So now I'm going to just scrub a little bit, and she's probably going to put the back arm down kind of behind her to better support herself. She's leaning back. Maybe turn have the head, like the eyes forward a little more because she's done saying something, and she's like, oh, la-di-da. You know. Alright, yeah. This is the point where I probably want the back arm to be moving a little bit. And did I give it a substitution? Oh, it's not a sort of keyframe and duplicate drawing. Stop motion keyframe. One second, I need to check something on the browser on my. So like I said, I'm doing this on a on another. I'm doing it on a tablet, but I also have my main laptop. Like I said, this old Surface I use from a hardware spec and reliable standpoint is pretty shitty. I'm saving up for a new one eventually. So I have a Alienware one I got. It's about 1.5 years old, but spec wise and feature wise, it's a lot more. It's actually really good. Here's a tip for any artist: if you have both a main device you draw on, be it any sort of technical thing or just a sketchbook, whatever you use. If you also have a device nearby with internet and Google and stuff, access, be it a laptop, a tablet, or a phone. If you're looking for, if you're trying to like draw from reference, like if you're practicing recreating an image, an image you like, or if you're looking for reference and looking like all right, here's a pose to draw inspiration from or stuff like that. Or if you're like in this case, I Googled images of Dixie and Kresha here, and I often have them pulled up on my laptop screen, so I don't have to. I could do what I'm doing here and bring them up in the same window, but honestly, when you're trying to add a lot of details, screen space is like real estate. You want to be very conservative with it and devote as much as you can to whatever the current thing you're focusing on is. So, like I said, I probably should try and do a little work on Kresha tonight. We'll see where that goes. And so I'm going to. So where was I before I got sidetracked by saying I'm going to look at all this other stuff? It's that I was going to start moving the arm down a little bit. So let me see where the keyframe is. Okay, that keyframe was chosen because that arm was bending back a little bit. This is where I start bringing the back arm down to that more relaxed position. So we'll do like for the roughs, keyframe here. Probably be more moved here than at the end because of the motion ease, where it'll be moving faster first and then slow down by the time it reaches the back and she rests. And so one more. Actually, let me just double check that the legs look okay. Okay, I should move this. The top part of the leg should probably stay, but the knee, lower portion, and foot should probably be moved down to kind of indicate that it's resting in the same general position, that she's mainly shifting the position of her torso and head. That doesn't have to affect the legs all that much. So I'll do that, and then I'll copy paste these attributes to the last keyframe for the body. Quote unquote. I can make more changes after that. Who knows? Delete, paste, copy. Delete, paste. Zoom out a bit and turn off. Just see how that movement looks. What? Oh man, I forgot to move the toes. That actually happened to me before. That's pretty crazy. It looks like, oh my god, they're about to go flying off to the stratosphere. All right, I'll just select the toe lines, I guess. Copy, delete, paste, and let's just test that motion one more time. Okay. And I'll probably in the final thing start the arm movement motion like in between here, so it's not like in that space time it just goes bah. It's not going to be a gaming watch. There's a Nintendo reference for you. Okay, I want to know how many people here actually knew what Game & Watch was before Melee, because I've never seen a physical Game & Watch, but I played if anybody else ever played the Game & Watch Gallery games on Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Advance. I owned the first one and played that thing to death. That was a fun little thing. I wouldn't mind them finding some new way to recreate that, to like revive that concept of the remakes for Switch or even 3DS. I don't know, or even iPhone. Who knows? Kind of like how I'm happy we're getting new WarioWare on 3DS, but I'm surprised they still haven't done anything with that for iPhone. Like, what, you want something that's all touch and quick for ADD kids? WarioWare, bam. But anyway, let's do that last keyframe for the arm. Yeah, probably only about 2 frames is all we need for that arm to find its position. Maybe I'll just do 3 later on. It's not that big a deal. So move that back a bit. Oh, nope, you're coming too, finger. And okay, let's hope I got all that down a little bit. And I should probably also edit redraw that hand for this frame to no motion tween for the refs. Yeah, I'll edit that hand, and actually I guess I can delete just for this frame that's the last shot possibly. Actually, let me just play the script and make sure it doesn't. Okay, yeah, there's nothing about she quits talking. It's just you don't need to do any more body movement, because that's generally the point where the body calms down in animation. So I delete the hand and the lines that the body is overlapping, because she's not going to. Wait, is that? Okay, yeah, I want to make sure those were associated with the actual torso itself. So let's get rid of that for now. We don't need to see the joint line there. And I will also delete the fingers, not the leg lines. I guess those can stay as a guideline. And yeah, I'll edit a little bit so it looks like the fingers are. Oh, actually, she'd probably be if she flip the hand around so the thumb wouldn't be at the top. It'd kind of be just like. You would just barely see the indentation of the fingers. Let's try cutting those and see how natural that looks. That's a start. We'll like I said, we can edit that later. But as like the fingers of the paw just kind of resting there. I'll probably have to move the lines back. Those lines actually be back a little bit for the arm itself, because she's going to be leaning that back. I need to make that thicker. She would probably lean that back to, support herself. You just wouldn't see the whole thing there because the whole stomach's in the way. And all right, I'm going to save here. And now I think the main thing is to finish with the head, the eye position, and mouth shapes for the last second or two. So we're done with the body for now, I believe. And I need to turn scrubbing on. So I actually need to see where did I last leave off the mouth shape. Okay, there's a lot to do. Okay, this is where. Okay, instead of doing just another FS shape for the M, that's a noise you can make with your mouth closed. Like, that's kind of what mouth is by default. So let me find where I have. There we go. So I can just copy that line. I'll move that, and I'll, like I was saying earlier, I'll also close the similar to signify that the mouth is closed. The bottom of the whole snout muzzle area will be moved up vertically. It's shorter because it's closed. That's how mouths work. Try to open your mouth wide and then close it. All right. Drawing. Actually, I'm trying to wonder if I should have her roll. Oh no, she already rolls the eyes of that part, so she'll be looking. So she was looking up and right. Now she'll just be looking down and right, and then she'll move back to the left when she's finishing the sentence. So the main thing, the main thing to edit here is the whole mouth area. Make sure it's like each one primers, and no, not E. It's the stop motion. Let me just make sure the drawing substitutions. Yep. Deleted. Paste. And have it set up with. I'm trying to remember the feel like that might be a little... Does that smell a little too high? Let me see where it is now. Let me see. Let me compare this to the first smile. First closed mouth smile. I'm sorry. Oh, it's not close enough. Oh yeah, it's way lower. It's kind of like a banana shape there. So just do that, and I guess it's about right. But I'll just move down a little bit more to be sure, to be safe, and then I can add that later if I'm unsure, and then move this whole line. And get rid of that part. Actually, I have to use this opportunity to clean it up a little bit. So I'll select just the lower line of the mouth, not the. Oh, that's the point. I thought it was the torso. Okay, yeah. So let me see if we can just select that. Yep. And these as well. Move it up a little bit so she is. Maybe just redraw it compared to the that. Okay. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, that's two. Nope, nope, nope. Just start further. We gotta make a note of where it starts. Okay, it's way farther out. It's almost like if that line kept going. Like that. Okay, yeah, that's a good. Compared that to that, I think that does need a little more tweaking. I'll do a little bit more, and then I'll let it be for now because it's not a position that sticks around that long anyway. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. And I just make sure I'm seeing that leftover line there. Let me make sure it's not from. It's not from. It's from the lips. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I might as well even get rid of that line there. It just looks kind of like a weird smudge, as is. Okay. Save. And 1 second. Oh man, I'm just now noticing that there was a somebody in the chat. Nito Animador. Let me just say hello to him. If he's still there. Sorry that took me so long to notice. I don't know. That might have not been there before. Let me just see if it's going to... Try to see if it's saying it'll save the page for stream options. DVR. Archive unlisted. Okay, it'll probably be fine. I think it'll save it. If it doesn't, you know, lesson learned. It might be fun for people to look back on some of these. So let me see where... Alright, back to the tablet. Okay, so that's the buh noise. It's kind of going to be the small... I have some different, like, widths of the mouth shapes. Okay, probably something like that, but smiling. Let me see if I have anything like that earlier. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. So I'll select that, just specifically the mouth. It was also kind of smart to... okay, that's not meant to sound like right. If you have a weird shaped mouth like that, it can kind of help, or even regular mouths, it can kind of help for the back of it, instead of just being a straight line, to kind of curve it like that along, to make it kind of match along with the other lip. Kind of makes it look more, I guess not lip, side of the mouth. It makes it look more organic. So let me just see. The drawing, so I'll delete the happy smile line. That there, and we're gonna need to move the probably copy the there we go, copy the mouth line, the lower line here, so I know how to kind of place it. Get that, paste it, and kind of goes right there. Kind of draw a little connecting part there just for flourish. It's not even that important. And stop motion, jeez. To be fair, for most other types of animation, full thing, you would want that to be automatic. Close it a little bit. Drawing. I think I'll do 1 or 2 more of these mouse shapes, and I do have another project I'm going to work on briefly. Actually, I'll do this and add the trying to work a little more on the drawing for Crusher, the other background character. He's supposed to be popping up in the background for the last second or so. It can still be a pretty detailed model, but he's not going to do much movement. I might as well like tween him up, maybe in a funny pose or something. That's one of the funny things if you watch Reanimate collab. I highly recommend you check out like my favorite that I've seen is the Mama Luigi one, because you're just having so much crazy shit through. Oh, the steamed ham one. The steamed hams one. I love that meme in general, and they do some really clever twists on the visuals with the lines that a lot of us know by now. I'm not going to say everyone. Not everyone knows that or has seen that episode. Stop motion. So this is going to be another mouth closed. Briefly. Oh, I can just copy back to the 19. Okay, this is where we'll do. So this is I'm going to do the. I've done. I don't remember if I did one more than one. Okay, yeah, smaller. Because she says E, and then after that she does DK, and I want the E and DK to be more. It's more drawn out, so it's probably we'll want the wider toothy grin, I guess, for lack of a better word. So copy paste. Just copy that. Is where we want it. So we'll delete this mouth. Paste that one. Lift it up a little bit so it has a proper fit work there. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Then we're gonna want. Should we make sure we don't have. All right, one more closed mouth. 19. 19. Okay, that's good enough for now. Let's look at this all in motion. So it's all hook up some of the way DK and kind of just from kind of concern to just sure enough like it's no big deal. Let's see how the body language comes off in that.
Are you hook up with somebody, DK?
The lip sync might be the timing might be a little off because of the slowness of the computer, or if I export and it looks weird, I'll adjust it later. But just check that sounds. I'm just focusing on the motion. All right, that's a good start. Let me see here. Yeah, it'll look better when the arms actually have the full range of motion for its movement. But yeah, I just make sure that the placement of the legs doesn't look crazy. You're supposed to like move them up front at the start, then. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll probably make some more tweaks later, but let's work on drawing a little bit of a Crusher right now. So we'll bring his. This is what I drew. This is what I drew him with. I'll probably start with. Let me just see which its aspects of. Okay, yeah, I probably want his eyes to be more googly in this. And I kind of drew this first because I was just looking at the base design and that, but I thought I was making more exaggerated because he's supposed to be the heavy of the group. You know, all brawn, no brains. So we'll start by. And for the record, like sometimes when I'm doing characters for Toon Boom, or when I used to do it with Toon Boom and Flash before I had the tablet, I would almost always draw them on a sketchbook, scan them, and then do kind of a tracing over them, like doing right there. I'll make a different color at first to make it easier to distinguish them. And nowadays, it's more like 75% done straight in Toon Boom and 25% done here. Like in this case, I hadn't really drawn these guys much before, so I want to try doing a few practice sketches to get a base design down. This scene was never directly traced. She was just, I drew a base design that I don't have in here, and I just looked at that for a basis for the base body model. And so let me just do, so I'll lock his scan file. I'll do one for this whole character model because I feel like he's probably just not going to do that much. Actually, I'll make this his head at least. Maybe I can have his head turn, like rotate a little bit to express like curiosity or something. And it's about the right size. Maybe I should make it a little smaller. Because remember, he's supposed to be in like the background, even though actually that might be about right. Just see. Okay, I think that's about right. Save that. So I'm just using it red for now, so it's easier to distinguish over the black and gray sketches. It'll be easier to keep track of, and then by the time it's done, I can just swap. By the time the drawing is done, I can just switch it to. You can select all the lines and choose black / vectorized line, which is the same thing, I guess. Make sure the drawing thickness is. All right, that's about right. So I'll actually first. I think I might recreate these eyes, and paste those on. It's gonna take a few tries. I just suck at circles. I should do the practice more often. I've heard like if you suck at circles or shapes or like smooth like curved lines, like take a sketchbook page and just do a bunch of like force yourself to draw a bunch of them fast. It'll kind of help you memorize the motor skills for the best shape later. I think I can see why I'm causing problems. There's kind of a line between them. I'll go with the one on the left as a basis. That might help. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, and I should probably erase that a little bit, or let me see if I can make it more conspicuous. Okay, yeah, zoomed out, that's not going to make a difference. So, and actually, yeah, I'll make the irises separate ones too, so they can move independently maybe. But for now, I will move those over onto what we're going to use as the final drawing. I can probably shrink them a little bit. Yeah, I definitely shrink those a little bit too. Holy crap. Turn that down. Shrink, rotate. Alright, that's a start. Yeah, I can manipulate those later if I want to. Actually, maybe save those as an eyes. We'll see if there's an eyes later, and if I have issues with the head but not it, or vice versa, I can edit the other. Otherwise, I'll combine them better. And then we'll do his head beneath that, because we do the head layer over the eyes. The color of the head would overlap most of the eye. We don't want that. It's all in the placement, the hierarchy kind of. Let's see how we want the snout to look. I might have to edit the eyes so that I can just edit the line work there so they can be on the top layer, but I'll edit out those parts so the snout's still on top. That kind of little bump there. Let me just, it's getting pixelated here, so I need to zoom in and out to kind of get a better idea of the overall shape. And I'll smooth and curve this a little more. Oh, what happened there? Oh, that's crazy. I'm just saying. I might erase that part there. I need to look at how to adjust the default eraser size, because it's always way too big, like 30 when I average, and like line width of like at most 10. Okay, that's good for now. I'm going to tweak that if I need to. I need to make sure that those lines connect a bit better. That's pretty good. And then I can make the eyebrows possibly a separate layer too, but I need to get the rest of the head, and I don't need to worry about making the mouth separate shapes, because in my shot he doesn't begin talking. It's the next one that I've seen other people working on where he does. So I will just do the basic. I'll start with the mohawk horns. That's how you know Crush was created in the 90s. He's got a mohawk, and he's an evil reptile in like a spandex jumpsuit type thing, because I'm sure if he was written dialogue today, they would make a "do you even lift" joke. I should probably make these actually. I'm gonna make it so it automatically smooths the curves a bit more. That can help for like things like this. Certain you want better curves in like body parts and appendages. Make it slowly more taper a little more slowly too. Okay, as it is, I probably need to move those down a bit more after I draw them because of how the head ends there. You down there, and you need to go down even more. I'm gonna might even just shrink that horn. Or I guess I'll rotate a little bit too. Okay, that's pretty good. Just cut a little bit here. This looks crazy. Make that smaller and a sharp little on the gap to make a sharp little point to the to his horn. Okay, yep. From that, I gotta keep in mind that from as zoomed out he's gonna be. Doesn't have to be pixel perfection. Make sure this matches up with the rest of it. Okay. Yeah. Finish with the head. Should try to do that one part. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's better. And then finish up like the lower snout jaw part. Alright, so that's good. Now I'll got the extra line. Oh, that worked out. That worked out well. Draw the line that connects. I should start here probably. Connects them. Same here. I'll add that if I have to. I'm sure I've said that multiple times on this stream. I'll edit that later if I have to, but that's how it works for me at least. Oh, I'm trying to. That third horn needs to shrunk a little bit. Oh, looks like both lines. Both lines. Stubborn. Alright, this better work. If this does not work, Starfox quote, Nintendo, it all connects. Alright, so the last thing I'll do here for now is do those, he has those crooked reptile teeth, so one there, one there, one there. I'll probably stick to those 3 or so. So just put that there. So there's a closing point for the color fill. I will change that to I vectorized line there. Alright, so that Crush's head done. That line's gonna be, I'm intending for it to be invisible in front of or behind the eyes. I guess I might adjust that for a little bit. So I think that might wrap up the portion of the stream for Donkey Kong. I'm gonna briefly work on one other thing on the stream at least. I'm probably gonna work on it more after it ends. So I actually did just get hired to possibly help with a little animation studio that is doing a pitch for a kids cartoon, and I'm helping them do character rigs and vector animation. It's they sent me the concept art for a character and said kind of, you know, do the tracing over and conversion to a full rig in Toon Boom, and then give it a second, and then possibly do a test animation of it. So let me just I'm gonna hide what I've finished here, and all right. So this is the sketch they sent me of this kind of grouchy looking guy, and I've since been kind of tracing over each one, and so you can kind of see here, got a lot of the upper part of the body done. I'm going to be adding in, because the arm is in different elements here, and actually I think I might not need to, I was going to do what I did with Spacious and some of my personal flares of, if I don't want them to have really crazy rubber hose arms, then you make each part of the arm in its own layer and like separate them where the joints would pretty much be, and then you can do a system called patching that hides the lines in between them, so it looks like it's a one solid bit, you know, it's an arm, like real life that can just bend at points. But so my employer sent me some cartoons that he wants to take influence from. Since it's going to be vector animated, he sent me some clips and pointed out some current kids cartoons that are vector animated, specifically the Hotel Transylvania show and Camp Lake Bottom, which I had heard of. It was first time watching some of it, which like actually that show has a fun art style. Like it's like I have seen like it's Canadian. That's been like they really embrace the vector animation standard. I know a lot of people hate that. I don't, honestly. I care more about designs than if something's motion tweened or not. Like I just want stuff to move at least. That's like why I'm not really big in like TV animation pre late 80s, like the Hanna-Barbera stuff, because it just, they had to work on a script, so they had to kind of just focus more on the characters talking and then having them move around. And cartoons that we've gone on have been able to kind of find a better balance. But that's a tangent. So anyway, he did send me the Lake Bottom clip where they had the very rubber hose, extreme exaggerated poses, which is fun and snappy and such. And so I asked him, I sent him a picture from Spacious, said, do you want me to do it like this, where I have more kind of realistic poses for them, or do you want like the shows you sent that are more rubber hose and crazy? He's like, I think go with the latter one, and so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm actually probably going to, this was last night before I had gotten the response from him, so I'm going to, let's see, is there a merge function? Yeah, merge selected layers. Alright, so let me, oh, no, that's the wrong layer to merge it with. Not the hand, I want just, there we go. Merge the layers on front, and now I can delete the overlap lines and find where this thing is. Sometimes Harmony's viewpoint for when you just want to see the drawing is a little confusing, and I have not figured out the intricacies of how to there probably, and now I'm 2 over there. No, I'm over here. Okay, I'm just gonna go back here and I'll just edit it manually here. Delete. I really need to be able to view. Okay, there we go. Now you're working. Now you're behaving. All right, so make the color layer visible as 2, so I can go and cover up the little blemishes there from the merge with the line tool. And he has saying you don't have to worry about this looking completely perfection either, because it's basically, for this character, it is a pitch of getting the design moving and expressing. Like he actually is going to have me use a line from Camp Lake Bottom and have this guy act out the line in his own way. So let me do that. I do need to delete the. Should I put the hand behind the arm to see if that helps it? Okay, yeah. So let me add the arm to be less. Alright, more seamlessly overlap with the hand. Alright, that's pretty good. Let me make sure it doesn't lose any color points of matching up. Okay, I do need to add a little more color here. No, the brush does not need to be that big. Toon Boom, I work in very minute circumstances most of the time. And also let me just double check the shadow. There's a light shadow effect that's being applied to it. Okay, just the part of it, the top that needs to be. And I need to draw the. Oh, I placed it over the sleeve. Guess I will probably have to. Oh, I'll do a composite of it later on to make that match up in the hierarchy. That's kind of more boring, so I'm not going to display that yet. The torso. Probably finish up the head actually while I'm at it. So let me see. I believe I need to fill in the hair. Drawing. Oh, it's just way too zoomed in. There we go. Okay, yeah. So the hair needs to be colored in. So thankfully I can use the eyedrop tool and just directly copy the same color using the concept drawing. And give it a name to know, to remind myself what it corresponds to. On the color layer, shade, shade, shade. That was Prop 2 reference. I doubt that anybody understood what that was. Alright, now he's supposed to have another eyebrow there, actually. Let me... Eyebrow back. I can probably copy-paste that eyebrow. Eyebrow front. That first took a little bit to get the hang of, because it is mostly straight. You can see some little details right there. So, let's take the front. Move it up because it's going to be in front anyway. Flip it horizontally. Oh. Get the pivot point there. I'll edit the individual pivot points later. Something you got to do for drawings. Let me see where it's supposed to be. Oh, yeah, it's going to be longer than this one anyway. I don't need to worry about that. Just put it there. Just make sure it's moved perfectly horizontally. I think kind of want it to match up. Be on the same horizontal plane as the first. And that's pretty good compared to the first. Actually, let's just compare. Okay, it needs to be lowered a little bit, and I need to edit the end of it a little. Actually, I might be better off redrawing. Okay, I know what to do. I'll just take that part and edit the endpoints. That's where I need to. Oh, the eraser is weird because I squashed it a little bit. Make sure it's the right color. I don't know why black isn't showing up as its name in this file. But I guess that's not that important. Okay, make it a lot skinnier. I don't think it's as pronounced as the back one. Let's try to strike a good balance here. I need to give it a little sharper corner here. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, that's not even the eyebrow, that's the eyelid. Let's rename them. Got so caught up in other details I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, one thing I'm probably going to want to do here is do the color layer and have a patch of skin behind here. So like if he's ever supposed to have full eyes, lift this, I'll show you. You can lift this layer that I'm making up here, and you can still have the eyebrows on top. The actual eyebrows, these are eyelids. But it's a stylistic choice the designer made to not have the full half circle there or anything. I like it. So I'll make this a little bigger too. And there's a good chance that if this is the model the rig they go with, we'll see edits to it and refinements further down the road. Yeah, this is just an initial pitch they want me to do, or help with. They're gonna probably be the ones to present. Oh, I didn't use pressure sensitivity for that, so I underestimated the size. Save. Let's fill those both. That's pretty good. I'm going to need to hide those if I want to do the eyebrows now. We'll start with the back because it is smaller. And for the record, if you're wondering how I refer to each one as the back, it's because from the 3/4 perspective, technically in real world the equivalent is that this is further away. That's also why these are a little shorter, because if you turn your head diagonally, someone looking at you, you know, the side that's the eye corresponding to the side that is, you know, turned away, it looks like it's, you know, shrinking horizontally, squishing a bit. So that's kind of how some cartoons stylize that, and realistic art does, because that's true to life. But it can be a stylistic thing to not do that. I know. I remember that's one of the things I noticed about the Family Guy art style, is that the eyeballs are equal in like horizontal volume, and that's a give or take thing. I'm not gonna draw realistically, but that's one thing I like to try and incorporate a little bit of. It gives a little bit of depth, if that helps. So we're gonna zoom. Let's zoom in more here. So we'll make it extra skinny. We're just doing the outline here, and then we can fill it in. And there. That's a little too high. And probably I'll make it a little skinnier first. Okay. I'll probably just bump up the smoothness here. Let's see if we can do it on that part that's already done. Well, don't freak out on me. Okay. Let me see how it looks like zoomed. Yeah, I think it'll look fine. Probably smooth a little bit if I have to. If it looks weird zoomed out. And there, and it just thinner and thinner as it goes over there. I think that's alright. Let me feel it juts down a little bit. Let me feel a little gap there. Alright, now he's not a redhead. Do that. Let's zoom out a bit. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, I think we'll finish that. We'll do that last eyebrow. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to do to... I might work on the legs and shoes a little bit, then I'll finish up, because I feel like the back arm and shorts are going to be the stuff that takes up the most time, and we're winding down. I'm seeing... Oh, I got another comment. Hello, Pac-Man XYZ. Nice to see you. And I'm actually seeing, so far the stream's gotten 2 likes. It's generally been averaging 2 to 4 viewers at a time. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. I thought this would be a fun thing to do to emphasize the stuff I like to do the most, and that you can expect from this form. I made a whole video about it. I got like 2/3 of my viewers now from my grandma watching movie videos, which are a lot of fun to. I love that people love them, and there will be more, but it's just that's not going to be the only or even main thing that this channel does. I have a lot of other goals, and my grandma won't be able to watch. I'm sorry to sound down, or she's not going to be around to watch movies forever. Thankfully, she's in. Don't freak out by that. She's in very good health. We actually always talk about we're considered very lucky. Mimi turned 90 in about a month or 2 ago, and she takes good care of herself. She eats well. She sleeps well. She exercises as best someone her age can, and she also has she's just someone who's has a really positive demeanor, and from what I understand, that kind of good outlook and emotions can help a body too. So, we're just lucky that she's been around as long as she is and continues to do well. So we'll see more, and yeah, I actually am planning to watch some more stuff with her in a week or two. I may not record them because I don't think they're the most engaging. We've watched some slower paced like drama type stuff, and I'm gonna leave it up to. I'll give it a look. I think we might watch 2 movies, and if I should react pretty well to the first one because it's a similar one, then I'll record the second one because it's a well-known movie, but I don't know how strong, because I watch other movies like with her, and she doesn't always have the same crazy reactions as watching Star Wars or Marvel, because it's not the same as a blockbuster. She always, I know one thing she always points out to me is like she is still constantly blown away by contemporary special effects. So like I said, she's never seen the Star Wars prequels, or I'm never going to show them to her. I just don't care enough for them. I'm sorry. But she did at a relative's house a couple years ago. They were watching Attack the Clones. It was airing on cable or something, and she got the last like half hour, and she was so into those effects, like the part with the conveyor belt, all the gladiatorial stuff. I remember it was like she kept doing her oh thing. She also commented she didn't know it was Obi-Wan. She thought Ewan McGregor was really cute in that movie. She certainly knew who Alec Guinness was in the originals because he was an old-time actor even by then, but I'm not sure if she was ever like, oh, he's cute. It's just a funny little anecdote there. But yeah, more mini movies eventually. I'm working on another quick video game review, and then I'm gonna try to focus on more animations like this. Yes, Wario is still coming. I'm definitely working on that. I feel like that's taken. It goes without saying that's taking way too long. I'm very sorry to people who know me from that and are. Yeah, I know patience like that deserves to be rewarded just quicker. I'm gonna try and work on that in the future. But I've been with a lot of projects to work on all at once at this point. So this is gonna be leg. And oh no, it's not gonna be nested in there. I might actually put it. No, it's not gonna be behind the torso. We'll work on that later. So I'll finish this leg and shoe, and then I think we're gonna call it a night. I am definitely. I'm gonna do a little game before I go to bed, and then I'm going to. I'm not gonna lie. I've taken tomorrow off to go see Infinity War at 12:30. You're probably not surprised to know I'm a huge Marvel fan, and I'm kind of losing my mind over. I've seen, I've besides the showing Mimi Avengers. I've done 2 fan trailer mashups of Infinity War with Dark Knight Rises, because that was formerly my most anticipated superhero movie, and now I think Infinity War's beat it. But I love. I mean, I like Dark Knight Rises itself, but I also love the main trailers for it. I think were amazing. So I thought I was going to take that music and structure and apply it to, that was the end of a series, and this is going to be, Infinity War and whatever Avengers 4 are. It's not the end of that Marvel universe, but it's the end of kind of. They've been saying it's like kind of going to mark an end of that era. Like, a lot of the existing protagonists are going to be killed off or phased out. So they're trying to keep things fresh. And so this is like the last, the whole pair of movies, the last hurrah. And I've been lucky enough to be relatively spoiler-free about that. I think I get the vibe. I'm not gonna say anything. I think I have an idea of who dies, like what notable character dies early on. I'm not gonna say who. And I'm just hearing so many crazy things people said about how they react to the end that I don't know what to expect in terms of who's going to die or what even happens. But I will say, if you haven't seen my Twitter, or because I do upload the podcast Sketch Watch Play over here, I want to recommend you go back and listen to our 10th episode where we had a guest on, Tyler Malaterno from another podcast, Generation Animation. And actually, he's doing another podcast too with some friends called The Breakdown, where they review new release movies, because he's a huge movie nut. And I had him on, and we talked the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole, like all the movies up to that point. We did not include. It was about a year ago, so we didn't talk Black Panther, Spider-Man: Homecoming, or Guardians 2 because they weren't out yet. But we did generally bring up at least every other movie to that point. We did like a ranking from worst to best of the movies. Fun little anecdotes, but I bring it up because Chris, my normal co-host, isn't super interested in Infinity War enough to do a podcast about it right after it comes out. He was all about Black Panther, which makes sense. I love the cultural impact that movie has had, and I'm actually excited to see. I hear it's not that big a part of Infinity War, despite what the ads make you think, but I'm excited to see. They're going to do a sequel, so we'll see what they do with the Wakanda crew after that. And okay, long story short, Tyler is he might be watching the movie right now. Actually, he lives in Cleveland and had gotten tickets to see it tonight, so he might be in the middle of that. I'm going to see it tomorrow at around lunchtime in my area, and then in the afternoon we're going to sit down and just do an unfiltered spoiler cast, and that will be uploaded to our usual Sketchbox Play stuff on like iTunes, Spotify, and such. But I will upload it here, and I will make notes in the text and the description. Yes, we're going to spoil all the big stuff in that. So, but we'll give you fair warnings. So yeah, I might also do a video review before that goes up. We'll have to see how much I feel I had to say like that right after I come out of the movie, out of the closet. My apologies. And so look forward to that. It's gonna be fun to talk about just all. I mean, like I feel like even if. Because the reception's been mostly positive, but there have been some naysayers. Even if I end up disappointed by it, I feel like I'm going to have some really fun stuff to say. But, I mean, I have a gut feeling I'm probably going to at least enjoy it. Let's just see if that, matches up. Okay, I think so. Yeah, it's barely, in the original, it's barely over the... Oh, I need to move that line down a little bit. And extend the fill. There we go. Then we'll do the shoe, and we are done for tonight. As of right now, we have three of you are average. Thanks to anybody who's bothered to watch tonight. This has been fun. I think I'll be doing more of it. And maybe if these develop an audience and like the chat gets more active, I can incorporate stuff like that, like sketch requests and suggestions and whatnot. So we'll play it by ear. I should probably start. There we go. Oh, it starts way too high. That's pretty good. I gotta finish this. This might be a little tricky. I need to smooth out a little bit. Sorry for the sniffs. I don't have a cold or anything. Sometimes you gotta sniff, you gotta sniff. Alright, let's make this a little more even. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll apply the colors and we will be done for tonight. Boom. And we are done for tonight. We're something like halfway, 2/3 done with converting this sketch to a full rig. Actually, probably halfway because I'll have to pull composition and layer order and actual like bone deform rigging into account. Oh, Chris just commented. Thanks, Chris, but Toon Boom. I'm actually just about to wrap up, but with any luck, this will be exported to as a video on the channel. So we'll see more. You'll see more of this in the future, and I've had a lot of fun doing this. And I'll try if I do more of these in the future. I'll try and announce them more in advance on my Twitter and stuff. Like I said, Chris just joined in. But yeah, thank you for watching, and have a good evening, everyone.